And now, another You Can't Comp This episode highlight.
All right, we did a social media post in the last couple of days called Getting a Deal Done. Now, I think this is a really good topic to talk about, even just for 5 minutes. We don't have to go on about it for ages, but I think sometimes talking about the really basic things in the hobby is also a good thing. And I've noticed around a few different pages, sometimes people will ask questions and maybe it's not always the most supportive reception to some of these questions. And do I wonder sometimes do people not ask because,
Yep.
they're scared or whatever. So I thought this is something, we could talk about. And this is a very broad strokes conversation. Like, it's a very open conversation,
For
So
sure.
so I'll start with you, Ad. What do you value out of a deal?
So what do we got? It was what do I value in getting a deal done?
Yeah.
I just transparency,
Yep.
communication, and transparency. They're
Yep.
my big ones.
And that's the thing that came again and again and again. Absolutely.
Yep. And that's the thing. Like it's all well and good. Things don't always go according to plan.
Definitely not.
And we know life gets in the way. People aren't robots, and this is trying to arrange a time to meet or do a deal or transact between two people that have got their own lives. And yeah, I think clear communication obviously is met with compassion and understanding, and I think we manage to, as long as we're clear and transparent about our situations, we can get to the conclusion of a deal very, very easily. That would be my big thing. And I've got the post up now. Oh look, communication.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think for me, let's leave communication out because I think that's been very well covered and will be very well covered in the thing. And you touched on transparency. I'll probably just take that a little bit step further.
Yeah.
So I think for me, what I'm really enjoying at the moment on eBay is how you can put like up to 12 photos of a card.
Yeah.
And the other thing I've noticed too, people are getting a lot better at utilizing that space. Look, some people will just put up a single photo of the front, but then some people will put, say, the front, the corners. They might do like the middle surfaces. They might even do an angled photo so you can, get a really good grasp of it.
Yep.
So my probably not horror. This is not even a horror story, but probably one of the stories where was genuinely disappointed. And you're going to laugh at me for this, and probably other listeners will too. I bought a Probstein, and it was a pretty big card. Like it was a plus like $1,000 card.
Yep.
And Probstein only put up a single picture. They didn't put up a picture of the back, and
Whoa.
I wanted the card.
Yeah.
And it had not a large surface issue, but it wasn't declared. So that for me
An
was
undeclared issue.
yeah.
Simple.
So then the other issue too, and this is a little bit of my, geographical sort of situation, is that, it was shipped to my shipping container and shipped out to Australia. So by the time it got to me, it might have been, say, a month later, which is pretty normal for my sort of time between me receiving a card. Depending on also, my shipping cycle, sometimes it can be longer, sometimes it'll be shorter, but so it's very difficult for me to, get any recourse, and their communication is abysmal. So that was very unfortunate. So I would say I value that, if there's damage on the card. So I did a trade with somebody recently, and they were like, you can have this card and you can have it at this price, and the reason you're getting it at this price is it will not gem and it has a scratch, down the middle of the card. And I can't say I was in love with that conversation, but that actual conversation is so valuable because you know exactly what you're getting yourself into, you know exactly what the card is, and there's no sort of surprises, when it arrives, in your home and it's got, damage on the back, right? So how about we take turns reading out the comments and then we'll go down the list, eh?
Yeah, let's do that.
Jared Begg, communication is everything in transactions, I reckon. Always let the buyer know where I'm at in the process. So that's exactly right. I think if you're just telling people, hey, I'm a day late, I'm 2 days late, make sure there's proof of sending the item so they don't have to chase me up about it, have some shockers on the other end of that. Yeah, totally. So My comment on that is that if it's tracking, that's straightforward, right? There's a process for that tracking number done. I like to do a video of the card going into it, and I've had flack from people about this. And can I be honest with you guys? I do it for myself. Okay, I send so many cards, I forget like what I've sent.
But that's part of your personal record keeping process, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. So yes, it's it's for you. It gives you some peace of mind. But I
Here
got to
you
tell
go.
you guys,
Here's a video I
it's for me.
took, but you took
Yeah.
it for yourself, so that
Yeah.
if there's any recourse, you're like, no, I did this. Here's the.
No. Also, I've put that bag down. Do you know what I mean? Like
It's
that,
done.
that passive
You're not
scent,
carrying
you know,
that.
it's
You
done.
don't sit there wondering, oh, I hope they get it. You're like,
Yeah.
I've done my bit.
Yeah.
Yep, fair. Who's next? Yep. Then we have Ryan Jewell. Red flags are too much of a drop in price when negotiating an offer, or those that pester constantly.
Yeah, the pestering constantly, that gives me EBGBs too. Yeah.
And that's the thing. There's bartering, and then there's pestering. Do you know what I mean? Like where it's, are we negotiating something here, or are you just berating me to get me to drop the price and shut you up? And that's a tactic. And if people didn't accept the prices, it wouldn't work.
I wonder this one, what he's saying though, is like it's a cheap price, and they're saying like, pay, when are you going to pay? 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 And then they disappear, right? Ryan Primetime Purcell, active communication, timeliness, honesty, and a personable interaction. After all, this is a hobby for most. I mean, look, I personally think, I agree. Yes, it's a hobby, but I think you're expecting a lot from card nerds, mate, to get a personable interaction every time.
You know what? If you ask them about their personal collection, they won't shut up. It'll be fine. They'll tell you every story they want, but if it comes to doing a deal, get the business done. That's what they become less personable. You meet them at a trade day and they will tell you every story about every card they've ever got. But if you're like selling them a card,
bro, I gotta go.
Come on, man, come on. Where's the tracking? Give me my card. Will you do it at a better price? No. Anyway, not everybody is like that. We're sort of taking the piss out of some exaggerations, I guess. But it is a hobby, and yeah. Who have we got? Paul Riley.
Yeah.
Communication is key. Are we getting a theme here?
Yeah, communication was the like.
Yeah, as a seller, I can't stand people who message short phrases like best price, last comp was. Yeah. My current pet peeve was an $85 card I purchased, sent to me without tracking, which never turned up. Wait. I purchased, sent to me without tracking, which never turned up. Got a refund, but was actually wanting the card. Okay, so you bought a card, bought it without tracking, it never showed up, and you got a refund. But you wanted to, look, you don't know if you've been scammed or if what, you know what I mean? Or if the person lost the card. It sucks, but at least you got a refund. There are worse things.
So, at what price point do you pay for tracking on your cards?
Ooh. That's a good one. Huh. I've never really thought about it. I normally, if I'm I feel like if I'm spending more than $100, I'm wanting tracking. Sometimes more than 50, but $100 is my. When I sell cards, I say any purchases over 100 must be sent tracked.
Yeah.
And anything over 200 purchased gets free tracking.
Okay. So for me, anything over 50, I pay for tracking on.
Yep.
And anything that I put tracking on, I pay with goods and services. But this is like a small Russellism. Just say I get a card I pay $25 for it, but I get it in a bargain for an auction. And I think in my head, the card's worth 45 or 50. I'm like, I'm putting tracking onto it, right? Because it's in my head, it's still worth $50. So, I want to get that card. The only other caveat to that, those two, is if I pay goods and services, I always then pay tracking, because I think it's unfair if you not would do a chargeback, but could charge it back for the
Yeah.
card not coming, but you haven't paid for tracking. You know what I mean? Like that's not fair on that sort of
Yeah,
on that
that's fair.
scenario. And that is really annoying when that happens. You get the refund, but actually, like, I'm disappointed. I actually wanted the card, not the cash. You know?
Yeah, true. Friend of the show, John O'Michaels, has just chipped in and he said every price point. Bought and sold
That's because, hang on a
10
second. That's because every card in his pocket change is like 1,000 plus. So, Jono, hang
He
on,
said
mate.
he's bought and sold thousands of cards and always tracked.
Yeah,
Always.
right. Yeah. Look, and it's not worth the headache. That's the other thing.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
That's
That's
it.
true.
That's the only reason why I have such a short trigger on goods and services, though. Too, I cannot be bothered like worrying about this stuff. It's you pay
Yeah.
50 cents or $2 or whatever, and it's sorted.
Anthony
Timothy
Mill
Price.
just chipped in as well. Window shoppers are the best.
Absolutely,
Oh, God.
they're the glue of the hobby, Anthony.
They
Come
are.
on.
Yeah, that's it.
Timothy Price, respectable and personable communication, that word again, throughout the deal is what I value. If trading my ideal transaction sees both parties receive something they want for their collection with no real talk of values. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. And who have we got? Lucky last. David Ralph. Pics uploaded of the card bought, packaging process, tracking details, and filming of standard postage.
Beautiful.
Cards from $2 and up, individually penny sleeved, top loaded, and team bagged.
Jeez, $2 card in a top loader.
I have had plenty of $5 and higher cards valued and purchased from private sellers and breakers, not even penny sleeved.
Yeah.
Hobbyists who use base cards in their packaging. Red flags. Negotiating postage prices. No reply after 48 hours. Sticky tape used in packaging. Instead of like the masking tape, I guess. Because the masking tape, craft tape comes off. Overcharging on postage of cards because they weren't happy with their final auction price.
How do you feel about us sending David out a box of cards in this response?
I love it. It's like, it's pros and cons. Like, we got 4 red flags. We got 3 really nice positives.
I feel like this is better than I could have put together, to be honest.
Can you tape up the box with sticky tape though?
Absolutely.
Done.
I can take the cards out of the packs and not put them into penny
And penny
sleeves.
sleeves.
So my penny sleeve story, I'm not sure if I've told this or not. I bought this lot of cards off a dude in America, and on the pictures they were in penny sleeves and top loaders. He posted them out to me just like raw dog. I sent him a message. I was like, "What happened to the penny sleeves?" And he said, "Oh, penny sleeves are quite expensive. I sell so many cards. I can't afford a penny sleeve for all these cards. Gotta like take care." I was like, "What planet
They're not.
are we
they're,
living on?"
They're not. They're called penny sleeves for a reason, right? Maybe with inflation, they're now.
That's right. 2 penny sleeves.
They're pound sleeves.
Dollar sleeves.
Dollar sleeves.
No reply after 48 hours. I think that is a massive red flag.
Yeah.
Most people will look at their phone at least twice a day, so that's 12 hours, right?
Yep. Look,
Yep.
and
Beautiful answer,
the overcharging on postage. Don't they have fixed postage like that before auctions and stuff?
Yeah,
on
so
eBay?
most pages these days have cracked down on that type of stuff, but it's still annoying.
It's
He's right.
streamlined. It's annoying though. It's really annoying. Yeah, agreed.
Alrighty, Ripper. Yep, David, we'll be in touch, mate. We'll get you something out. That was fantastic.
Here is the way that you can get in touch with Russell and myself and be a bigger part of the show. Now, if you follow the link tree to our Facebook group, that is where Russell and I put our mailbags up, our card versus card, our player versus player, our buy, hold, sell questions. All of those will go up on socials, on IG as well, using the handle @YouCan'tCompThis. Now, if you do have a more tailored question, feel free to PM us on Instagram. You can reach out in our Facebook group, and we'll be happy to respond and see if it's something that we can add to the show. Once again, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate the support and love creating this content for our loyal listeners. If you haven't done so already, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and click the bell for notifications. So hopefully we see you when we go live. Thanks for watching.